Me up tonight. Du- 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 da- 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 da. Oh yeah. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. I hope y'all can hear me. Let me know if you can't. We are here. We are the ones. Take me home, Mr. TikTok fugitive. Oh, I don't need this. Go away. Okay, we got it all right here. Hello, folks. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Please, please, please. Confirm that. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What up, you beautiful motherfuckers? Welcome to Fugitive Friday. In about 2 minutes, I'll invite our friend into this. Denise, very funny. Yeah, hey, hey, I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm a dude, man. I'm a dude, man. Got it. What's up, man? Yo, Lumber Snack in the house. Still one of the top names. Top names I see. Indica Kitten. Thank you so much for popping in. How's your Friday going? You hear about the shit going down in Russia? Yeah, Wagner Group. That seems so sus. Like, was Wagner kind of like a sleeper cell this whole time? I mean, that would be Gisela. What's up? All right, guys, we got 77 in the house. I like to say there's no time like the present unless you're a bastard on Christmas. Yo, what the heck? What the fuck is up? Yeehaw, professional swallower. Thank you for the hat. It's a good Friday. Hi, Nicole in New Orleans. Can I get some bidets? Or no, not bidets. What are those? Beignets. Bidets and beignets are very different. Beignets are delicious donuts, from what I hear. Yo, what up, Nico? Hold it down. All right, I'm going to invite him in. Cora in the house. Welcome. We got a lot of people trying to get in on this. It's not for you. It's for my man. It's for my dude. Dad Howard. How the hell
Hey,
are you? Hey, how are you, sir?
I am struggling with pain, but I am here.
Well,
So,
we're glad to have you. We can.
yeah.
You let me know if you got to cut short, if you got to take a break,
No,
anything.
no, listen, I will go because the way my health is, I have to go at any and all times. So, unless I get to the point that I can't speak, which shouldn't happen because I haven't been unable to, I mean, that's pretty rare. There was about a year, 2021 and 2022, most of which I could barely speak.
Jesus. Yeah.
Um, and there was a couple weeks ago I couldn't walk for several hours. I mean, I could, but it was so painful that it was difficult to walk.
So does this kind of it
But I'm
affects?
here.
Does it affect your nervous system? Whatever's going on with you, it kind of
Yeah,
gets in. Yeah.
Yeah, I have induced neuropathy, and
Okay.
so it sends pain all throughout my body. And so when I say I can't walk, it's not that I can't move the muscles. It's just that it becomes so painful that you don't want to move.
And how long, Chad, have you been living with this? Just for anyone new popping in. By the way, guys, TikTok fugitive, follow him, please, if you're in here right now. Tell your
Yeah,
friends.
it started, well, I mean, I had some signs as far back as 2001, but I never knew what it was, and they were never bad enough to affect my life other than I had to pee a lot until 2010.
Okay.
When I came back, when I got out of Bulgarian prison and I came back, shortly thereafter, either 2010 or possibly 2011, was when I had a serious incident and my first trip to the hospital in the ambulance. And then it's been nonstop since then. We flew a surgeon in 2015 who removed a 30 by 30 by 30 millimeter kidney stone. Yeah, small, almost a golf ball. And
That is fucking horrifying. Okay. They got that out
yeah,
though. That's good.
they got
Did
that
you
out. The problem is that
Jesus
we do have a
Christ.
lithotripsy. Well, we didn't have one. I had to wait for it. But in 2015, we did get a laser lithotripsy on the other island. and I was able to go over to the other island. It was difficult, but I made it. And he saved my life. But the problem is that with the laser and the other one we have here, which I don't know what it's called, they call it the spark plug. They're very similar. They cannot go very deep into the kidney. So they can get a kidney stone if it's near the exit. But if it's deeper in, they can't. And you need the ultrasound lithotripsy,
Jesus.
which is the machine we do not have here. We should. It's not even that expensive when it comes to medical equipment, but our hospital's been so chronically underfunded for the past decades that we just don't have a lot of things that our hospital should have. We don't even have an MRI machine until recently. It was one of the campaign promises was to get an MRI machine. And it was supposed
Right.
to be up last year, but it's been sitting in a box. Basically, it's on island, but they haven't
Whoa.
hooked it up. And that's what happened to our dialysis machines. When we first got dialysis machines, they came in and they sat in a container for a few years, and the container got a hole in it, and a hurricane came and destroyed the dialysis machines.
Are you telling me, Chad, that a politician made a promise during a campaign that he didn't fulfill?
What's really bad is two of the previous three. So of the prime ministers over the last 30 years, there have been three. One was in power for 20 years.
Right.
And two of them are actually medical doctors. And even then, they have continued to underfund. The prime minister that sent the most amount of money to the hospital so far was the one who is not a medical doctor. Now, the new prime minister has been starting to fund more. And he did get the MRI machine here. It's here at the hospital,
Okay.
but it's
That's a
not
start.
functioning. And even if we
Right.
get it, it's not going to help me because they can't fix me as it is. Finding more things wrong with me they can't fix is just going to drive me more nuts.
Yep. Yep. Well, this is the situation we're dealing with. For anyone that is just tuning in, welcome to Fugitive Fridays. This is get used to it. We're gonna do it every Friday till we get our friend Chad off the fucking island and into some medical care, and hopefully we can circumvent FBI unwarranted garbage. What apprehension? Is that a fair way to put it, Chad? That's how I
Yeah,
would
I
put
would
it.
call it
Yeah.
abduction, but
Abduction. Yeah, sure.
yeah,
I'm looking at so Chad was kind enough to flip me over a bunch of stuff today. Here's one little thing. Now this is your son, right
yeah,
here. Yeah. And
yeah.
when was this released? This file here I'm looking at.
Well, that particular one, if you zoom in, I can tell you, but I can tell you when the first one was because they've updated it. That one, what age does he have in that one?
Let me see. We have
25.
missing,
Okay, so
missing. Yeah.
that one's from 2021. That particular screenshot you have is from 2020 or 2021. No, it's
Yeah.
2021 or 2022. So it was still up, but they originally posted that poster in early 2000. April 2008 is when they first put that poster up.
Right.
Even before they charged me in a secret closed door court hearing with kidnapping. And that poster was one of their evidences. So that's one of their evidence items against me was that bullshit poster.
Yeah.
But prior to that, there were no kidnapping charges. There were no charges whatsoever before that poster. And she called the state police and said I came into her house and took them when I wasn't even in the freaking country.
Yeah, that seems kind of impossible, doesn't it? What like
Yeah, and the thing is, we have letters. I sent you the letters too that we sent to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
I
And then his
got it
poster
all.
only got taken down. His poster got taken down almost exactly 1 year ago. July
Oh, they
1st of last year
so
was when
this
they
is
took his poster down.
okay, good. And like, where is? Can I ask where your son is right now? Is that something to ask? It's like
Yeah,
who's?
you can ask.
Yeah.
He's 27 and he lives nearby. He lived in our house until he was 25. But, he got older, wanted his own place, and now he's, basically one of our neighbors. He lives, pretty close.
That's good. Who does like? I mean, does he have any intention to go back to
No,
America, or is he like
no.
that? He doesn't like the way
He
the
is
stuff is.
he is so fed up with America. Not only that, but they listed him. They tried to kidnap him when he was 13. He remembers that. They have basically,
Right,
I don't want to
right.
say destroyed his life, but he is a very private person. He hates the attention. He hates being all over the internet. He despises them for this.
So when you say kidnapped, is this what you're referring to here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
he talked about this in his news interview on TV. He talked about the time they tried to kidnap him. He remembers he was 13. It's not like he was 4 and he remembers it very well.
Let's see the way they word it. A lot of redacted there. Have
Well, I
endeavored.
redacted that because I redacted the local
Oh,
police officer's
sorry.
name
You
and so
did. Yeah,
forth.
good, good, good. Okay, I wasn't sure, but regardless, so I'm just gonna start here. Have endeavored with one, Mr. What's that? Hines of Regional Affairs Desk in the United States
Yep, Patrick
Embassy
Hines.
in Barbados, physically tried to secure the return of Mr. Howard's son, who is a minor, to the United States of America from St. Kitts, where he now resides, in the family home.
Yep.
Gee,
And so that
physically
proves, not only
tried.
does it prove, they prove, and it proves they know where he was too this whole time. If you look at his missing poster, even 10
Yeah,
years later, it says they don't know where he is.
that's a great
But they
point.
tried to
Yeah,
kidnap him.
they. It seems like they knew exactly where he was.
And his mother came here too.
Yeah, did she? What can you before we boil into the mother? What what does that mean? Physically tried to, like? Did they put hands on your son?
They tried.
They.
They showed up at the house. Now, mind you, I was in prison in Bulgaria at this time, but my
Oh
wife was
fuck!
here.
You were not even in the house. Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it.
No. So when they came to the house, it was my wife, who's his stepmom, who he's basically grown up with since he was like, you know, really young.
Yeah.
And they showed up, and so it was him, his brother, and his sister, and his stepmom. And the guy showed up, and he's like, "I'm here to take the child." And my wife's like, "No, you're not." And he's like, "Listen, I'm here from the U.S. Embassy. I'm a regional security officer, and I'm taking him." And she's like, "No, you're not." And she wouldn't open the burglar bars because we lived at that time. We lived in an apartment, and she refused. And he's like, "I have a court order." And she's like, "You don't have a local court order."
No.
And
No.
even the court order you have doesn't say you can come seize him. You were showing some old bullcrap stuff that a lot of which has been dismissed, by the way. Some of the orders he was showing had been dismissed.
Oh.
And he said, "Well, I'm going to take him." And she said, "No, you're not." And she wouldn't open the burglar bars. And he said, "Well, I'm going to come back with an angle grinder and I'm going to cut these off the hinges and I'm going to take him." And she says, "No, you're not." So she called the local police, and
I think
the
we
federal
know this
police here
story.
came,
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
they told him, they said, "You are on foreign soil.
Yeah.
You have no local court orders,
Yep.
and you are performing illegal acts right now. And I don't care if you're from the U.S. Embassy or whatever. You are in a foreign country." And the thing is, the U.S. Supreme Court in the 1980s did rule that the FBI or American authorities in general can seize fugitives and other people on foreign soil, even if it's in violation of that country's laws. So, long story short, he got called in by the Attorney General and had to go to his office. And the Attorney General told him, he says, "Listen, I don't want the paperwork. But if you don't leave within 24 hours, I'm going to fill out the paperwork and you're going to be diplomatically expelled. And I don't want to see you back here anyway. So
Yeah.
get on a plane and leave." And the dude did, because he told him, he says, "If you come back or if you don't leave in 24 hours, you're going to be visiting the inside of one of the oldest prisons in the world that's still operating."
And this here looks like a letter from the organization that had the missing alerts up for your child. They almost kind of admit it right here. It says, "Please
Yep.
understand that we do not represent Miss Oberlander, nor do we purport to speak on her behalf. However, from our standpoint, the child is missing and being illegally held away from his legal custodian." Now, let's take
And
a
that's
pause
2008.
there. That's from
That's
2008.
2008.
Chad, why did that? I know why, but just explain it again for anyone new here. By the way, thanks, guys. This is Chad Howard. He's been on the run from the FBI for
Well, I'm
17
not on the
years.
run. No, I'm not on
Not
the
on,
run.
not really on the run. What's wanted by the FBI for bogus charges of kidnapping your own son, who
Yeah.
is now a 27-year-old man.
Yep.
And they are still in hot pursuit. They still seem to have tabs on you. Are you getting letters
Yep.
still like these? Like, what's the most
Well, I got
recent
the
one?
NSA letter last. I got a letter from the NSA
That's
last
right.
week.
I did see that. I did see that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. God bless them. God, the NSA does great work. I'm sure they're watching right now. What's up? How are you? Yeah. Yeah. I think we can
Once
all
the
echo.
FBI too. Once the NSA. Once the FBI.
You hear that, Gary? We have a little joke here, Chad, that Gary is the name of my FBI guy. And we think Gary's rooting for us. We're really hoping that he's going to come on over to our side. He's going to see that, his own country, his own company that he works for treats him terribly, would
Oh yeah.
disregard, they would disregard Gary if you got, or anyone what's one of the names of the assholes chasing you? You know any of them? I'll speak directly
Kirk?
to him.
Well,
Kirk.
TikTok Live, no. Well, I'll go first names because TikTok Live, I don't
Just
want to be
just
called
just the
doxing.
first just the
So
first name.
the problem one is Kirk. He has since retired, but he's
Okay.
still active in pursuing this case, and he's now using his replacement, who is Jason.
Kirk, I just want to tell you, you're on the wrong side, brother. We are more like you than, the overlords at the FBI office, your executives, than the politicians they serve and the political agendas they serve. I promise you, Kirk, you'll be treated better over here. You'll be happier over here. Come on over, my friend. That's my message for Kirk.
Yeah, just
So,
to be clear, yeah, it's Kirk. Everybody's Kirk. It's not Kirk. You said Kirk, but some people hear Kurt. So yeah,
yeah,
it's Kirk.
Kirk, a Kirk. Is that's how my friend spells it. I do have a friend
Yeah,
named Kirk.
well, actually, it's spelled. It's one of those names that you can't guess by how it's spelled. You might think it's spelled Kirk, but it's
Yeah.
actually spelled Doofus.
He's a fucking doofus, folks. Sorry, and I got a little off track, but I do want to keep people up to date. A couple of people I see in here going, "What's going on?" Chad, can you explain it? Cliff notes. Why are you where you are? And explain just the root cause of it. I mean, I'll take a shot at you. Fill in the gaps. Let's do it that way.
I think it's better if you do it because yeah, you go for it.
Chad had a son with a lady. They were married. The marriage
A
didn't end
lady,
well.
I no, I disagree with that. Not lady's
Okay.
not the proper term.
Okay, a human creature that
Possibly
their relationship
humanoid, humanoid.
their relationship, as many do, face troubles. Chad, you had legal custody of your son in the state where he was born, as I understand it, as the documents you've shown me seem to support. So then, after the breakup, your ex went to another state, um, somehow convinced a judge that you have something's wrong with the custody you were granted, and the judge in another state says that no, the kid's hers, should be in her custody, and that's where this shitstorm really all started. Is that
Yeah,
a
but
good
to do that,
synopsis?
she also told the judge he was born in Pennsylvania because otherwise Pennsylvania had no bite in the case.
Oh, she lied about where he was born.
And he put it in the court order.
Okay,
He didn't check it. And the thing is,
okay.
you're wondering
That
why are all
seems
these
like
judges, why is the National Center, why are they all willing to do compliance? Because the FBI was behind all this, nudging it the whole time.
that really seems like it should have never even got off the ground
It shouldn't have.
once once they realized
But
that she
the thing
lied
is, see,
about
that's the
it.
thing. No. See, you're assuming that this was just some mistake and they didn't notice. No, this was intentional. If you look through, and I've only sent you some of the documents so far, but as you go deeper and deeper, you're going to realize that it is not a plausible defense that they were this incredibly stupid. If they were this stupid to make this many mistakes, they shouldn't have a driver's license, let alone be a judge or working for the FBI. This had to be intentional. There is no way these are mistakes.
Right, right. I mean, it seems pretty pretty cut and dry if I was any sort of judge or lawyer. But let's be honest. I mean, I guess perception's one hell of a thing, and ulterior motives are another. And why do you think maybe they want to talk to you so bad, Chad? For anyone new in here.
I, I don't I don't know if you want to go down that rabbit hole this fast because if we go down that rabbit hole right now, it becomes a distraction.
Maybe that's next week. Why do they what are the reasons they could want to talk to
Yeah,
Chad? That's going to be next Fugitive Friday,
yeah,
guys. By the way, welcome to Fugitive Friday. Every Friday around 7, before 9, right, sir? Before 9,
yeah.
around
Yeah.
7, we will have a interview. Some will be well, we're going to try and keep it fresh, but I think right now the most important thing is to just keep reiterating who you are and what happened and why you are where you are and why do you need to, and also so essentially you're trapped on an island in the Caribbean, and the minute you try and leave, it's pretty much been told to you that you will be apprehended, and
Well, it's
you
not
are
just it'll be told to me. It's happened before. The last time I went somewhere, I got to stay in 5 Bulgarian prisons, so I know it will happen
Bulgarian,
again.
right?
This is not
God, yeah.
some, I'm not
What
raving
is
about some paranoid possibilities. I'm talking about things that have already happened and will happen. And we have court records from a few months ago that clearly show they're still trying to catch me.
so? What if we like send you up to like one of those countries? Where's like the good jails, like Norway or Sweden? Can we get you apprehended in Sweden or something, maybe? And that might
Well, it's the
like.
other side of the planet. If you're going to get me transport that far, let's just get me to Cuba, who isn't going to hand me over and will give me medical care and is already
That's
helping me.
that's
So,
an interesting idea. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. They say China. They say China's moving into Cuba. That'll be fun. Whole new Cuban Missile Crisis. Poppy Don. By the way, guys, anyone who has questions for Chad, aka the TikTok fugitive, aka go follow him right now.
yeah.
Please type it in. I'll try and get to it. Let's watch a quick little vid you sent me, Chad, and we'll see what kind of conversation that can get going. Here we go.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
good
do
idea.
I do I did quite like this. Whoops, there we go. Oh,
Nope, nope, nope. Yes.
we'll let it play one more time, guys, because you know how TikTok is on other devices. It's terrible. Wait,
Which of these men has the U.S. tried and failed to extradite 3 times? Nope, nope, nope.
yes.
Yes.
So you have more extraditions than Snowden, than Mr. Hassan. Who's that other guy? Is that the Pirate Bay guy? Who's that?
Kim.com. Yeah, in fact, I have as many
Okay.
extradition attempts as all 3 of them combined, and two
I
of
was
them
gonna
have been
say
approved.
one each. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good stats. If we're talking extradition stats, that's pretty good. And have you stolen millions of files from the CIA?
Nope.
No. Oh, so why the fuck are they so concerned? Like, what are we
That's next
doing?
week.
What are we
That's next
doing?
week.
I know. I just can't get over the unabashed, uninhibited waste of resources and fucking time and
I should
money.
be a nobody. I
I
mean,
mean,
legally
geez,
speaking, from the FBI's perspective, I should be a nobody. Even if
Jesus,
I'm guilty of what they accuse me of, I should still be basically a nobody, not a 3 times extradited person.
it's nuts. Let me ask you this, and I'm just kind of off the top, and certainly we can talk offline about this, but maybe one Friday, your son, what's your son's name? I feel like an
Oh,
idiot.
he's never coming on. Alex,
He
no, he's never coming on. He
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 did
would
those news interviews.
never.
He's super private, and you got to remember
Uh-huh.
he was getting recognized because the news interviews, one of them hit like 1 million views throughout the Caribbean in a week or two. And he gets recognized everywhere he goes. So he's already changed his hairstyle up. He is doing everything he can to avoid being recognized because he does not enjoy the attention. So
We
he said,
certainly
Dad,
don't
I
want
said
that.
everything I did in the interviews, and the 2 news interviews are on my website. They're on my news
Yeah,
playlists as
yeah, I've
well.
seen him. I've
And
seen
he
him.
said, there's nothing else I really have to say. They're not listening to me anyways. Because he would call Nick Mick, and he's like, listen, I'm an adult. Take me down. They're like, no, we need a court order. He's like, I'm an adult. They're like, we need a court order. And the reason they didn't want to take the poster down was that was the evidence against me. And they only took it down after I did a viral TikTok and tagged them. They blocked me. So it didn't even take a court order.
I love the bureaucratic maze, not maze, prison we've put ourselves in, where people aren't allowed to make like a logical thought for themselves anymore. They have to follow the procedure, and it is ruining everything, frankly. And in my humble opinion, that's one man's opinion, but this is this is more than that. But I mean, certainly that's involved in this. What's a good way to put it? Clusterfuck,
Yeah,
fraud, national
Fustercluck,
disgrace.
because it's TikTok, so I say Fustercluck.
Fluster cluck. Yeah, I gotta watch this
So,
potty
hey,
dog.
I just want to say somebody in my comments were like, hey, Harper, I haven't seen you in a while. And thanks again, Wendy. I am reading the comments. We have 2 comment streams. So there's comments on his live and comments on my live, and they are separate streams, but I am reading the ones in mine.
Russian coup. There's a lot going on in Russia right now, guys. We will definitely talk about that later. But right now, we're talking about the FBI mercilessly pursuing a man for kidnapping his own son, who he had custody of. And
And I
by the
didn't kidnap
way,
him anyways. A judge put him on the plane. Remember that?
there was no kidnapping if you were in custody, anyways. In my opinion, I think that's how it works. But like, even however you want to put it,
Oh, yeah. In fact, when I was in
it's
Bulgarian prison, after they failed to kidnap him, she showed up in court here and she tried to take him away. And you know, one of the reasons they said that she should be able to take him away is that I had abandoned him. Why did I abandon him? Because I was in Bulgarian prison and I was going to be extradited. And so they
right.
said, therefore, I had abandoned him because they put me in
Oh,
prison.
that's classic. That is a classic one. I love that. We put you in jail and then we tell your son you abandoned him. That's fucking beautiful. What a bunch of scumbags, frankly, you know. But okay, okay. Um, anyone? Okay, we got a lot of Russian. Yo, J News. Sorry, Chad. I'll just try and address some stuff here quick, and
Yeah, yeah,
just let
yeah.
me scroll up a bit. Everyone's behaving. Yes. What you? Jay? Okay. Big Farts wants to know, what do you think of Canada? What do you think of Canada and Trudeau, Chad?
Well, I mean, I think Canada's awesome. I mean, I grew up on the U.S. Canadian border, so I spent a lot of my childhood in Ontario and that areas. So,
Hey, that's where I'm at right now.
yeah, yeah. But as far as, the Canadian politics, I don't follow them that closely. I mean, I used to. There's people I don't, I was never very fond of Harper, for example. He was like a George Bush to me.
You know
Um,
what? Harper, a lot of people had troubles with. I've met both Harper and Trudeau, and I gotta
mhm.
say, I don't know. They're all the same, anyways. Harper was definitely
Well,
a lot
Trudeau has
smart.
been here.
Oh,
Trudeau
is that
came here
right?
for, yeah, I remember I forget, a number of years ago, he came here for Christmas, and it was a big stink about how he was spending Canadian taxpayer dollars or whatever to
That's
bring us
he came.
security. That was
That's where
here.
he fucking was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God, bro. That's fucking amazing. I love that. Good, good. He's a dumb fuck, by the way. I've met him personally. He has no brain power at all. But having said that, people give that man too much credit to be some sort of mastermind. But having said that, definitely the smarter man was Stephen Harper. Did I agree with all of his policies? Fuck no, certainly not.
Yeah.
I'm not a tough on crime guy. I'm not about that. But
Yeah, my issues with Harper were all purely policy related ones. And again, I don't really
yeah,
follow Canadian politics like so Trudeau. I'm not getting into that battle because I know people either love him or hate him, and I just don't have
mm,
much of an opinion
is
on him.
that's interesting, eh? Is there still people that love him? I'd love to meet someone that still
Yeah,
loves that
there's
guy.
especially internationally
Not.
because
I
remember
gotta tell you, in
people's
Canada,
international views. Remember, but people's views of politicians internationally are very different. So Boris Johnson is
fair.
viewed very differently internationally than he is domestically. Same thing for Trump. Same thing for Obama. All politicians have a very different view inside versus outside how they're viewed. And some politicians have a very good view externally and some don't.
That's why I try and view them all as exactly the same as the little gift wrap turds that they are. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. There's very few politicians that I think are worth a crap at all. And Trudeau,
Well,
I don't have a dog in that game, so I don't care one way or the other.
nope, and that's quite all right, sir. That's quite all right. I mean, geez, you got a Kennedy running again for president, so maybe they'll get distracted. Maybe they'll
The,
try. They'll
the,
be trying
the
so
dead
hard to.
Kennedy or the live Kennedy? Which
They'll
one?
be
The one that came
trying
back
to.
from the one that's supposed to come back from the dead, or the other one?
The QAnon followers are still waiting for the dead Kennedys, but Robert Kennedy,
Yeah.
was on Joe Rogan, and I'm sure they got all their guns pointed at him right now. So I mean, maybe we can slip through the cracks here. We're gonna keep trying to slip some hopeful positivity into these streams, guys. Both of you should pierce your nose, Cat Reed says.
Yeah,
Um,
no. Listen, guys, I'm Gen X.
we don't, I mean, what's your theory there, Cat? I'm gonna let you type that out, and we're gonna watch another little video that Chad sent, and then I have some court stuff we'll look at after this. I found a child who's been missing for over 15 years, and he urgently needs our help. Next part is gonna blow your mind. I found him using Google. First, here's a missing poster at the National Center for Missing Children so you can see it. Now, if we look in the very same search results, you can see that he did a news interview on WGET TV in Erie. Yet he's still listed as missing? We've already called the FBI as a request, but he's still listed as missing. I don't know what to do, but the FBI says that if anyone has any info, they should call the FBI. So maybe that's what we should all do? I wonder. I wonder if we should.
That's
Oh,
before they took his poster down. But yeah, his poster was taken down
that's
almost, let's say July 1st. It'll be 1 year. And somebody in my comments mentioned, yeah, let's remind everybody we're trying to get on Joe Rogan too. So if everybody watching can tweet at Joe Rogan or whatever, Joe Rogan could save my life. But unless we can get his attention.
Oh, Joe. I mean, I love and hate that fella, but certainly this seems like something that would be right up his alley. Maybe what we should do. Okay, actually, Chad,
Hmm.
I just had a breakthrough thought. What we should be doing is trying to reach out to some of the, maybe not Joe Rogan, but like look up some of his guests especially some of his repeat guests that aren't
Yeah,
so
we've been trying
big.
that too.
Okay. Maybe we can revamp that. I wonder. There might be a guy. Okay, we gotta talk offline. We'll talk offline. Yeah. Yep. Um, I agree. Zara says Joe doesn't answer the phone. Says Desert. Yo, Desert. I'm glad you made it in here. Thanks for popping in, guys. By the way, if you haven't yet, please follow TikTok Fugitive, aka Chad Hauer, aka the most wanted man on TikTok. A lot of people would love to have that title, but once you have it, I got to assume it's not actually that fun.
No, it's less fun in real life.
It's definitely less fun in real
Yeah.
life. I got
Cosplay
to,
might be fun, the real life version. This is the world's worst reality
mm,
show.
yeah. And for
That's
anyone
the problem. Is a
that
lot of people think I'm just cosplaying. I mean, I've had people in my comments that
I
have been
saw
like
someone
followers for like
trying
2 or 3 months, and
yeah.
they're like, "Wait, I just realized this is all real. It's not cosplay." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I've been telling you all."
Well, guys, I don't know. I mean, does this look real to you? You know, does that look fucking real? Is it all right if I have everything showing here?
Yeah. Well, that one, just because of TikTok, TikTok might. I don't that the PDFs I sent you are not blacked out. I don't think there's anything there right now.
Okay.
TikTok doesn't like birth dates or addresses. If you show a birth date or an address, then you're in trouble.
Really?
And it's not me. It's the
No,
TikTok.
no, I just mean I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah. No, I've been dinked for showing addresses. I mean, you can show like a company address, but if it's a personal address, I mean, you can't show. Sometimes even birth dates they don't like. They don't like. I forget what else I said. So I think that
Anything that
screenshot
can
right there
give
is fine.
identity probably or be used in identity theft
Yeah,
is
yeah,
probably
yeah.
not a huge fan of.
Yeah.
What is this then? Maybe you can just tell us. Obviously, it's the court for Knox County, Tennessee.
What's the
Here.
date on that? Which date is that one?
Well, this is where
Look at
is
the
the
file
date?
name
Oh, the file name. Okay.
at the top.
Yeah.
At the very top, it shows the file. It was at the top. I just can't read it from
Oh,
here.
I see.
No, at
I
the very
see.
not at the top of the
Yeah.
document. No, in the browser. At the very
Yeah. 20. This says
2000. Oh, that's the
2005,
October one. Okay,
10,
this
and
one.
11. Yes.
Yeah. So that's when I. That's the. That's the second time I got full custody because the first time I got full custody, she told the judge to f off and didn't show up to
Oh,
court.
wow.
So she had to be forced into court again. So this was the order, which is reaffirming that I already had custody from before when she ignored the order.
And this is from
Did you read the
2005.
transcripts? Did you read the transcripts
Oh God, I'm not sure.
where the
I don't
judge
think
is
I.
yelling at her?
No. Where?
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay.
a transcript.
This is it here.
Oh, yeah, read some of the
Oh my.
transcripts in there. Yeah, I mean
Okay.
The one in March is pretty
Let
bad
me
too.
switch it
But
back on myself and we'll go through. Is there a transcript of the March 14th proceedings? Oh, okay. The following
yeah, but read
proceedings.
the October one first. The October
Okay.
one's even better than the March one.
There is not a transcript of the entire proceedings, Your Honor. There is a transcript of your announcement, and that's all I could have typed up. Guys, you got any questions for Chad? Yeah, I know. Fuck, I know there's a coup. Do you know that there's Wagner is trying to ship could get
I,
really
s-
bad. Shit could get
I saw
really
the
bad
basics of
this.
it. I don't know that it's
Well,
a coup yet.
I'm getting told like a lot of people are saying stuff right now. Like it
Yeah.
might be
Well,
kind of
you know I
happening.
lived in
Right.
Russia, right? I mean, you know I lived in Russia in the early 2000s. I speak
I
Russian.
knew that. I knew that. I
Да,
talked
я
about
говорю
a
по-русски
lot
не
of
очень
people.
хорошо, но можно.
Wow, my man. So they definitely think you're some sort of Russian spy or something, it seems. You know,
Да,
right?
совсем. Да, совсем.
Yeah. Don't say that. Wagner, I really don't think Wagner's going to get close either, guys, but let's hold off on that. Um,
Wagner's not the guy to watch out for. He may stir up trouble, but the Prigozhin doesn't
yeah,
have
I know.
a lot of power. And I'm not going to speak too much about that in a live because the Russian bots will come in and report me, and I don't need any reports. So
No,
I
there's
don't really get into politics too much. I will talk basics. Plus, who knows if we can't get this cleared, I may somehow end up in Russia someday. So
if that's where you got to go, if that's the only place, and that's what it is. I mean, in the end, Jen, I think that most governments in this pretty little world are on the same side, and the rest of us, we're all kind of left out here.
yeah,
Um, to squabble. What do they call it? Crabs in a bucket, scrambling to get over one another, or is it rats? One or the other. I think it's both. They
Yeah,
both
they
do
they
that.
both kind of do that. I
They
think it's
both
usually
do that.
crabs, but
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Russia's offered me asylum. I mean, it's not like I'm not in touch with the Russian government. I mean, I'm not saying I'm in touch with Putin or anything, but I'm in touch with members of parliament and things.
Apparently, he's been evacuated. Is that true? Can anyone, while I'm talking to Chad here, can anyone actually confirm that? Marco, what is up, brother? I'm glad you popped in. Welcome to our Fugitive Friday, guys. I'll say it, whenever the hell I want, but it's Fugitive Friday. We will be doing this every Friday. I am not gonna lie, Chad. I'll give you a little tangent. I'll give you a break here, as I look through, but I'll try and talk and scroll at the same time.
Yeah, when you get to
Oh,
interesting parts, just read them out because you're going to find some parts in there. You'll be like, "Whoa!" Just read them out.
but I had my whole neighborhood got robbed the other night. They
Wow.
took they took two people's trucks. They took one of them. They hot wired, and that was right across the road from my house. Now my keys were literally in my car. Uh, Britt, should I do that again? No, she says. Anyways, though, I was out having a cigarette, and they must have saw me standing there. It was right around the time, and they left our shit alone. But yeah, they hit like three different houses. They were scouting, all that fun stuff. So I dealt with that all week. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking exhausted. And Chad, I do apologize. I want to be more organized, but you know how life gets. We will do
Yeah,
better
yeah.
next week. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of that little life experience. Should I be worried? Is the FBI after me now, Chad? Did they
No,
come
no,
and
no,
rob my neighbors? Is that what happened?
nah.
Okay,
Now, the very
that's
last
good.
thing the FBI wants at this point is whatever initially started my problems. They're not after me anymore for that. They're after me now to cover up what they did. And the very last thing they want is any sort of publicity or to go before a judge. Every time when we get them before a judge, all they do is try and get out of the room, get out of the
Right,
courtroom as fast as possible. So they're not going to
right.
do anything to anybody whatsoever because these are a few people trying to cover their own asses. And the rest of the FBI is just along for the ride, the bureaucratic inertia. But this is one particular department, one particular office of the FBI just trying to cover their asses, and they are not going to come after anybody else because that would expose themselves.
Well, it wouldn't be the first poor decision those motherfuckers have made. Let's be honest. The FBI needs to go fly a kite, says Kool-Aid, and we stand by that statement here at News Updates for Real. Bug James, thank you for the follow. All right, let's see. Let's see now. Apparently, so this is the one that's 23 pages. Is this the one you think that has it? Oh, okay, okay. Wait, we got some.
Yeah, and while I'm here, I just want to
Okay,
thank you. If
okay.
we do this every Friday, we might actually get a better follow. I've been looking for somebody to do every Friday, so this is absolutely freaking awesome.
Buddy, Fugitive Friday is I am proud to stand by that, and people love the name, frankly. And today, we are clocking about 150, floating between 150 200 people popping in here, taking a peek, hopefully giving
I had
my man a
100,000
follow.
one time. I had 100,000 people at the same
Fuck
time in a live stream one time.
off. How did that happen?
I don't know. I used to get 10, 20,000s, and then for the last 3 months, since TikTok screwed up the algorithm and got their servers out of sync, I'm lucky to get 15 in a live a lot of times. But there are days that I used to get thousands easy, sometimes 10,000, and that 100,000 was
Wow.
awesome. I had a 500,000 people overall and 100,000 at one time.
I could not find that fucking countdown thing you told me about. I swear to God, they don't have it here in Canada. I'm not sure. I do know
Yeah.
that some of the stuff. Maybe I gotta update. I'll look into it. I'll see if I can get it going for next week. But apparently, there's this countdown to live sticker that
Yep.
people have. It would be great. I think it's a great idea. I can't fucking find it.
And it causes TikTok to promote the live better too. It'll push that video when it gets closer. It
Okay,
pushes
okay,
the
okay.
video.
Chad, someone named Kirk just followed me.
Is his last
Hey,
name dipshit?
hey, Kirk, is that you? Oh, Kirk.
I don't think it's the
There he,
same Kirk.
Kirk. Come on, guys.
The Kirk guy
Ten.
that's after me has basically pulled off the internet. He used to have a photo. His wife, basically, there were no photos of him, and his wife's Facebook page had some pictures of him in a Santa hat. And took him down, and I was posting them, and now his wife took down all the photos of him.
Oh my God, the paranoia is real. Someone just said, "How was your golf game?" Their name's Big Farts 905, so I don't think they're feds. Probably
Yeah.
someone that knows me. But yes, I did golf today. It was shit. I played terrible, Big Farts. Awful. Kirk says he's not that guy. Although Kirk,
Oh, good.
That is exactly what Kirk would say, isn't it? Cat real. Indica, can you do something about that, maybe? Or I'll just do it. Because I'm not really vibing with anything that person's saying.
Well, check through the transcript. There's some. That
Yeah.
thing is the
Okay.
reason I
Sorry,
want you to go through that transcript.
I just had to block an
Yeah,
annoying person.
there are
Okay.
some gems in that transcript that you're going to come across and be like, "Holy cow!" And that's what I'm telling
Yeah.
people is they're willing to do all this stuff
Yeah.
in the open, and they just hope nobody looks at these things.
So I got one here. This is Miss Oberlander. Am I saying it right? Oberlander or
Vecna. It's
Oberlander?
pronounced Vecna.
Okay. Miss
Yeah, it's
Vecna.
pronounced Vecna.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Is that a swear word in Russian?
No, Vecna is the monster from Stranger Things.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Fucking Vecna. I actually have. Okay, I'm gonna have to send you something after this. Miss Vecna, excuse me, Your Honor. The court. Just 1 minute. I will give you plenty of opportunities to talk, and I can't hear you. I'm sorry. You're going to have to speak up. I wasn't sure if we were allowed to speak up or not through this or not. Well, I will give you an opportunity in just a moment. I can just picture that awkward
Oh,
fucking
this is so
exchange.
good.
If the mothers have primary physical custody, the case ought to be sent to Pennsylvania, and this is the judge speaking. Any opening statements this morning? Do you want me to read the opening statement, or can we cruise past it?
No, you can just skip through the uninteresting parts. You'll find because it's a long, but you'll just skip through it when you see something looks interesting. Go ahead and read that out.
Yeah. Okay.
It won't take too long.
In the
Usually
meantime,
when she's talking, it's the interesting parts. You'll see
I got you. I
her and
picked
the
up on
judge.
that. Why don't while I cruise through, you tell people about how they got you into a Bulgarian jail, and maybe tell us about what that was like in there. I know we talked a bit about it last week. I want to make sure we get a lot of foundation here for anyone new coming in. You take the floor while
Sure.
I peruse here, Chad. Go for it.
So yeah, I was already living in the Caribbean, despite what the FBI has said that I fled here. I already lived here. I went to Bulgaria. I was on my speaking tour as usual, so it was supposed to be Bulgaria, France, Belgium, Netherlands. I can't remember the exact trip, but Switzerland. I was supposed to go to some other conferences after that. And on the
Sorry,
yeah,
the speaking tour. I'm curious. I didn't know, like just trying to plead your case to the world sort of thing, or
yeah.
were you working?
No. This was when I still worked for Microsoft.
You still worked.
So
Okay, got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was speaking at technical conferences. I mean, I was a Tech Ed track owner. I owned one of the tracks at Microsoft Tech Ed. I've spoken at Tech Ed.
Yeah,
So I was a
that's
big.
something I forgot to
Mhm.
mention. Chad was before he became a TikTok fugitive. He was working in. Were you in Silicon Valley? No, but you were very much involved in tech. He worked for Microsoft. If you guys have heard of Microsoft, and Chad actually had a chance to murder Bill Gates, but he didn't. I'm just kidding. We are just kidding with that. God bless you. Chad, actually, you liked Bill Gates.
I don't dislike them. I mean, I
Okay.
like Microsoft as a company. Again,
I
I
do.
just I don't know. People always have this opinion that celebrities have to have everybody's opinion, but for me, it was just listen. He's the owner of the company. I don't really have this celebrity type worship. I mean, I appreciate what he's achieved, and I'm, if anything, rather neutral on Bill Gates. I think of the billionaires and people out there, he's one of the better ones. Is he perfect? No. Are there issues with him? Yeah. But the ones I don't like, look like Zuckerberg, I think is a
A
creep.
robot? Yeah.
Bezos, I don't like. But like Musk, I admire a bit of Musk, but he's gotten a little bit wonky lately in the last year or two on
Can I
some
say
things. But
something
like
that,
Branson's okay. But most people I'm just
sure.
neutral with.
Can I say something that might be
Yep.
seen as controversial? Every name you just said, right? Every name you just said, all of them. If they were all
Hmm.
in the sub as well, I would be super happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I get that point of view. So, I mean,
Just being real with you, Chad, but that's what we do here. We don't have to
I
agree
think
on
there are
everything. That's
better,
a
I
beautiful
think there
thing.
are even more appropriate people I maybe would have preferred that were there. But,
All of them. How about all of them? Anyone
oh,
that
yeah, but
is
I'm
a
just saying, no, I'm
billionaire.
saying that there are people that are more deserving than them.
Yeah, you know what? I guess it's all about perception. And God damn it,
Putin,
I really don't wish death on anyone.
Putin.
Chad, you're right. Okay, shit, I interrupted you. Go, Bulgaria. I'm sorry, I'm still looking for Miss Vecna in here to pull some quotes. So you take the floor again.
So
My
yeah,
bad.
so I was there, and on the I think it was the second day,
And this
armed
was
Interpol agents.
2000. What year was this again?
Oh, this is 2009.
2009.
Yeah, so armed Interpol agents showed up at my door and took me away and told me they had an Interpol red notice for me for kidnapping, which was a really big freaking surprise to me.
How old was your son at this time?
13.
13. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Again, we
And
already
then,
just looked at the document showing that Chad had custody of his 13-year-old son. So I don't even know why they fucking were there, but go on.
yeah, I had to go through the extradition proceedings, and that took several months, and I was in and out of 5 Bulgarian prisons over a period of 3 months in Bulgarian winter, and the one I was in the longest had no heat. So, yeah, no toilet paper, no heat, no showers except once a week, 4 people stuffed into a cell designed for 2, and they weren't even bunk beds, so it's not like, they took, it's not like, okay, we still have the same amount of space. So they just plunked down 2 more beds, and, there was like almost no place to walk around. You basically, I mean, everybody could stand up if nobody wanted to walk around, but if anybody wanted to even like move their foot around, only one person could really stand up at a time.
That sounds horrendous. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like a small dorm room with 4 beds in it and a toilet in the corner.
What were the guys like? I mean, was it hard to get along? Did you have to, like, what was it like the movies? Did you go in there and fight the biggest guy, or like how did you
Nah,
survive? How did you survive? And serious, and I mean, guys,
no,
I'm not even trying to kid here or be hyperbolic, but we may all find ourselves in a situation where we're confined somewhere with people we don't know, whether that's in an army barracks or a POW camp or some sort of other horrendous FEMA shit, whatever happens here, or just fucking Thanksgiving with your family. How can we survive these things, Chad? Give us the tips. Hit me with it.
well, in my case, see, they didn't want the prisoners fighting, so they didn't feed them very much, so nobody could bulk up. There just wasn't enough protein to
Oh
bulk up.
God, so
And so
they keep you nice and
a lot of the guys, you couldn't even exercise that much because there wasn't enough energy
get away. You fucking
to survive. So, unfortunately, the guys I was in with, one was a violent offender. Actually, two of them were in for violent offenses.
Okay.
But they weren't violent in there. In fact, they were very friendly. They helped everybody out, and it was just kind of like, well, we're all stuck in here together. Let's make the best of it and just get along. And so in my case, that's how it was. So there was no fighting, and plus we were basically on lockdown 24 hours a day. So we only saw the cell people in my cell. The only time I ever saw anybody else was during prison transfers, trips to the courthouse, or passing them in the hallway. There was no common yard we went to. There was no common area. We were locked down in our cells, basically. Well, we were allowed out 1 hour a day, but that 1 hour a day we were allowed out, we were basically locked into. We'd go to the roof, and it was a room just without a roof, and you could see the sky, but you couldn't see the other rooms, and they only put you in that room with other people from your own cell. So I never had. I mean, the only time I interacted with people, otherwise, you could scream through the vents. There were vents down underneath the sink in the toilet, and they would scream through the vents to pass messages throughout the prison. So everybody knew the American Taliban had arrived.
Jesus
And plus,
Christ.
they didn't speak English. Nobody spoke English. The guards didn't speak English, and only one of the other prisoners spoke a little bit of English, but it wasn't, it wasn't enough to really carry a conversation on in English much with him.
Okay, let's see. There's a lot here, man. Okay, so yes, I agree. There was a lot of misunderstanding. This is your ex talking in court about misunderstandings about it beginning this year because he had already had such extended time. Now, maybe you can clear it up for me. What is she talking about here? What is going on here? They're talking about extended time and all this
She's
shit.
okay. So basically, she kidnapped him. I got him back and had him in Tennessee for several months until the March hearing. In the March
Right,
hearing, they gave him back to her for 2 months and then said, but in the summer, you need to send him to the father overseas. And she didn't send him. So what
right.
she's saying is she's like, well, last year, after I kidnapped him, the judge, the other judge gave custody to the father for 3 months when it was it was winter. It was supposed to be my time. And so I didn't send him in the summer because he already had visitation after I kidnapped him.
Why was it not consolidated to one judge? Is that like
See, it
a
was. It was. But then she went
okay?
to Pennsylvania and lied to the Pennsylvania judge and said that he was born in Pennsylvania. And then the other judge got involved. And that judge sent it back to Tennessee twice before. But the third time, he's like, screw it.
Can we send a birth certificate and just fucking like Jesus Christ?
That's not even the only thing they
It's just
lied
so
about.
frustrating. Like
I
it's
know,
just
but
so
like on the FBI website, it says I'm from Titusville. I've never lived in Titusville in my life. I am originally from Pennsylvania, but I left in 1994. I've never lived in Crawford County where Titusville is. And she wasn't even though she had a Titusville address, she's actually in Venango County, which is 2 counties away. And I've never lived in Venango County either. Right above my head right here, former Titusville resident. I've never lived in Titusville. That's where she kidnapped him to.
That's
Did
where
I call
she.
myself the American Taliban? Somebody asked my questions. No. That was what the guards called me. The guards nicknamed me the American Taliban
That's right.
because the
That's right.
U.S. Embassy gave them such horrible information about me and told them I was super dangerous, so they didn't know what I was in for, and they called me American Taliban. Did I work with Darius Garza at Microsoft? No. Microsoft's a huge company. Especially, I was there before the layoffs. Microsoft had like 70,000 employees, and I worked in Microsoft Middle East and Africa. So
Wow.
no, I didn't work in Redmond. I have been out to Seattle for Microsoft, but I worked at Microsoft Middle East and Africa, and Microsoft Europe, and Microsoft Asia. I never actually worked for Microsoft US. I mean, they're all
Poppy,
the same company,
I'm just
but
gonna read out. Poppy Don just said, and I mean, he's being a real sport about it. He goes, laugh my fucking ass off. My dad kidnapped me when my mom had custody, but Interpol didn't show up. They never
yeah,
sent Interpol after you. Wow. Yeah, I mean,
you
I
know what
think
I
you
had
probably.
after the news story ran in Pennsylvania and it was on Facebook. One of my favorite comments was some lady commented and she tagged her sister and she's like, "Remember the time Dad kidnapped us and all we did was go to Ohio? This kid got to go to the Caribbean. Why didn't our
Yeah.
dad kidnap us and take us to the Caribbean?"
Why
It's
can't we
like,
go to the Caribbean? Yeah, I wish my dad gave a shit enough to come kidnap us. But anyways, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. That word is such a fucking harsh word. Like kidnapping. I feel like you can't kidnap your own kid. I don't know why. Yeah, guys, here's a
yeah.
little insight into my life. I'm
But the
sorry
thing
for
is,
that, guys.
remember,
They're all.
in my case, 2 months prior to the supposed kidnapping that I did, it
Yeah,
was the judge that took him away from his mother with police, and the police put him on the freaking plane to London.
they're always doing great work. Those cops. They're always doing great
Well, the
work.
cops are just the cops are just following the judge's orders, but the
Fair
judge
enough.
ordered the
Fair
police.
enough.
I mean, so it's like this is the same judge that led to my kidnapping charge, and he's the one that put him on a plane 2 months before that.
We are
So how
living
did I
in.
kidnap him? So the judge puts him on a plane September 2nd, right? Sends him to London on to Cyprus. And then 2 months later, the judge says I kidnapped him when he's not there. I'm
Jesus
not
Christ.
there. And it was the judge that put him on a plane.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Unexplainable. We're living in fucking backwards land, opposite land, whatever you want to call it. It ain't right. But you got caught up in the system. Have you ever read, oh my God, have you ever read Franz Kafka's The Trial?
No. Mm-mm.
I'm sending it to you. I'm going to send that book to you. Or I'm going to, maybe easier to just download the e-version, I guess. But regardless, you need to read it. It's written a fucking 100 years ago, but it just talks about you are the protagonist of the trial, my friend. You got tangled up in the justice system, and
It's
the
more than a tangle, but yeah, I get you. Somebody in your
well,
comments says about your son was kidnapped by his father filing child support. Funny you bring up child support because despite all of this, my ex owes me over $40,000 on child support by now. Tennessee assessed her child support up until age
no
18,
shit.
and Tennessee revoked her
Wow.
passport and driver's license. And the FBI got a federal judge to override Tennessee's passport block and got her passport back and her driver's license. And the Pennsylvania courts are blocking child support enforcement. She's never paid me so much as a dime.
Did she marry an FBI agent or something? What's going on here?
No, that's the thing. I'm telling you. Well, we're going to talk about this next
Like,
week.
what the
This isn't
fuck?
about her. She
I,
is a tool in this. She's just a pawn in this game of why they actually want me. And she doesn't even know it. I think the FBI agent's a pawn too. I don't think the FBI agent even knows he's been set up.
is we don't have to go too far. Would you say your wife, like mentally, does she have
Oh
any
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, there's a
is she
serious
on?
there's a history of mental illness in her family. I've talked about this. She
Okay.
has one brother in prison for murder, another brother that was in prison, and another sibling that's in a committed in a mental facility.
3 out of 4, pretty good. 4 out of 4 by the sounds of it, frankly. But we all. I'm certainly not trying to be rude to anyone's mental illness. It's a hard thing to deal with. I think we all can say we've had moments, but when you're dealing with a highly unstable person, highly emotional too. I mean, we can
Oh
all
yeah,
admit it's definitely a highly emotional thing. Children involved, whatever, right? It's gonna suck no matter what, really. But when you sprinkle in fucking super highly interested federal agents and an unstable ex who's willing to do anything to hurt the
yep.
person who she perceives has hurt her or him. It goes both
I
ways.
mean, she didn't send him a letter for over 10 years. She sent a letter in 2011, and then for over 10
This is
years,
your
no
son
phone
who
calls.
didn't
Yeah.
send in. Wow,
And so his mother never sent him a
wow.
letter. And then in 2021, when Pennsylvania dismissed the case against me, a letter shows up for the first time in over 10 years. She's like, I've missed you. And he's like, the fuck? You haven't sent me a letter in over 10 years. She was here in 2009. She never came back. She could have come back. She had visitation rights until she came here and in court, and the court gave her visitation rights until he was 18, and she never once showed up again. Not when he was an
Holy
adult either.
shit. So she is super concerned about her son by the sounds of it, or super just yeah, just really. I don't even know what
But
to
I don't
fucking
want to push
say,
it.
man.
Just check that
I
transcript.
don't even know
You
what to
can
say.
skip over the parts of the transcript. You can skip over where I'm talking. I mean, you can talk. You can if you want. But my part's not that interesting. But read the part where the judge and her are interacting. There's 2 or 3 pages that are
Yeah,
really
I think I
juicy.
just got there. Your position, Miss Vecna, is that Mr. Hauer hadn't given you the information regarding his residence and where the minor child was going to be, and that's why you didn't turn him over. So we are getting right here that it's your wife that refused to turn the son over. Like, what the fuck? Okay. Yes, sir. I didn't feel it was in my child's best interest to go to some unknown destination overseas.
That's not true.
Okay.
She had the address. She had everything. We have letters proving that she had the address.
Shocker. Shocking.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
shocker.
sir. I didn't. Okay. Miss Vecna, you were present for the hearing in March of 2005. Is that
Only
correct?
because she was ordered to by the other judge and told she'd be in jail if she didn't show up, and that's how she ended up at this court hearing too.
And where was this one in 2005?
Tennessee,
Same. Okay.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
So
Okay.
she missed 3 court hearings that she had to be forced by a judge under penalty of jail to show up to, and this was another court hearing that she had to be forced by a judge to show up to under penalty of jail if she didn't show up.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. This is hilarious. So she says yes, and then the judge goes, "Did you not hear Mr. Howard testify about his address at that time?" She says, "I don't recall any specific addresses being given." Okay. Do you have any correspondence to Mr. Hauer or from Mr. Hauer that shows you at any time requested this information? Not with me, no. Ms. Vecna, do you remember that as of March 2005, you still had not directly provided your address to Mr. Hauer? This is, there's okay, I'm just gonna finish, and then I'm gonna tell you what this reminds me of, and
I'm enjoying this.
I'm gonna send you a video. He had it October 7th at the earliest of year. I have a letter from him postmarked October 7th with my blah 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 township address. Do you remember it was a point in the announcement of the court in March that as of March
That letter,
2005?
by the way, only came after we had to hire a private investigator and got involved and found her and found a court and served her. So she only sent me that letter after we found her.
Jesus. Guys, oh brother, I did appreciate Henslow. Sorry, I gotta address this. There's people
Yeah.
arguing here about something completely. The alien video you sent, yeah, I mean, I just, it's definitely compelling. It could be an alien. It could be a shadow. I do appreciate you taking the time, brother. Don't be offended. I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. Do you remember it was a point in the announcement of the court in March that as of March 2005, you had not provided? No, sir. I had provided it to him. I don't recall that being established that I hadn't. I had provided it to him in October of 2004. Do you recall telling the Pennsylvania court you didn't think that this order of March for the summertime applied to this year? I don't recall specifically. She's good. She's very good.
Yeah, she's
Uh,
like, I didn't know the summer visitation. I didn't know he meant this year. I thought he meant like when he was an adult.
All right. Is there anything else, Miss Vecta? What kind of communication or correspondence did you have in May or June? Hang on just a second. Look, let me look at something. All right. Wait. What? Tell me what effects you've made to determine Mr. Howard's address. Or sorry, what efforts? What efforts you've made to determine Mr. Howard's address and where the child would be for the summer of 2005. Pardon? It says pardon. She's
That's
sitting
her
there.
keyword for brain fart.
She's
Brain fart. I gotta come up with some bull
she's
crap.
fucking zoning out. She's either that or she's sitting there completely zoned out, staring at the wall,
Yeah.
didn't listen to a damn thing
And
Steve
someday we'll read the March
does.
transcripts too. But for now we'll stick with the October ones. We'll read the March ones sometime.
Oh my
And then someday
God.
we'll read the FBI transcripts from last year. Those are fun too.
I can't wait. What did you do to find out, asking what his address was, where the child was going to be? I had Mr. Martin, my previous attorney, I had asked him. He was supposed to find out. And I believe they gave him the runaround or ignored him. Is that true, Chad? Were you giving
No,
Mr.
keep
Martin the
reading. You'll find
runaround?
it's not true. She goes
Okay.
through attorneys like you cannot believe. Her attorneys last 3 or 4 months
That's a
because she
bad
lies to her
sign.
attorneys and they
Yeah.
quit. So keep reading. It'll explain what happened. But no, that was not true. Oh, don't worry.
Uh,
What happens? I'll give you a preview. Basically, she
Henslow,
lies a whole lot. The judge doesn't believe her, and the judge orders her previous attorney to come in and testify against her on the stand, and it's in the transcript.
I'm just typing something really quickly. I need help on. This
Somebody
is
says, "Yeah, pardon her, bull."
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I just have to finish this. DM me. Fuck it. I'll just Henslow. I'm gonna friend you right now, and I will send you a DM after this. Okay, brother? Let's keep going with this though. And I really fucking appreciate the support for real. You are a part of this thing, my friend. Okay. So, but I assumed because it was provided in there that he would provide such information prior to it. It has always been that he is supposed to provide information prior to picking up the child. Meanwhile, she had not given she had not given you her address. I mean, I think it's just all redundant at this point. It's like this is what I'm saying. It's gonna take
Oh,
a
but keep
quick.
reading. It gets
I'm
so
going
much
to.
better.
I am going to. But this is what I'm saying. This is all. This all cost money. This all took time, and
Mm-hmm.
like
I had to fly back from Europe for every one of these court hearings,
we're talking public funds, court funds, all this shit
and
for
I had to fly
this.
back from Europe. Every time I had to fly back from Europe, get hotels, get lawyers. Every time I had to fly back.
Oh man.
You're frozen. Where'd he go?
I'm here. I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, there you
Sorry.
go. Okay.
We're back. Okay, I got it. Okay, let me ask you very specifically. This is the judge. Did you contact Mr. Howard in any fashion to ask where the child would be during the summer? I believe my attorney had asked. Okay, now listen to my question. I don't, between I, specifically, directly between, stop. Stop just a minute. I want you to listen carefully to the question. You're not represented by counsel, and it's important that you understand the question. Did you try to personally contact Mr. Howard to ask for his address, telephone number, or where the child would be? I believe not being able to get anything from his attorney, but probably in May, there was something. I'm thinking it was May 25th. There was something that was written down. It was probably prior to that. He never answers his phone when I call. All right. You did have a telephone conversation with him then. Is that correct? How about an email? Did you have an email? I don't have email, is what your wife
That's not true.
said. It's fucking, she doesn't have an email. I love it. Well, how did you find out that the child was to be picked up on a date certain by his grandparents? He sent me a letter with the only destination being Cyprus. Do you have the letter? It might be in my bag. This right here. That was the only information he provided. Is the May
You
25th
mean the
letter?
letter with the return address on it?
Oh my God. Does that come out here, or are we just like? Anyways,
Keep going. Keep going. Keep
Is the
going.
May 25th letter all you received? The court. Sorry. So am I think I misquoted a little bit. That's your lawyer, right? Speaking to her in
Who,
that, or is
who,
that
who
the
is it
judge?
again? What's the
It
name?
says QA, and then it says the court. So then he says, Mr. Minette, do
Oh,
you
Mr.
want to
Minot. Yes,
look?
yes, yes. Mr. Minot was my lawyer.
That's your man. So it's your man
Yes.
interacting with your ex. Then the court steps in. So this is the judge saying, Mr. Minette, do you want to look at this? Your Honor, if there's 3 paragraphs in the last paragraph is one sentence correct, I believe I have that, a copy of it. Well, how did you know who was going to pick him up and what time they were going to pick him up on June 10th. I believe we had two, his mother's spouse, Mr. Emerson. I believe it was him that left a message on a Monday. And then I believe on a Wednesday we spoke, and he said, I think he was asking if it would be all right if he picked him up at 8 a.m. And I told him it was still under, I can't remember how I phrased it, but it did, that I would. I've drawn a blank. I'm sorry, under. How does that phrase go? Jesus Christ, these people cannot speak. I love it. It must be tough to write down fucking people's half sentences and stuff. It's even tougher to read them. I'll be honest. Let me just ask you, did you say to the man when he called you, look, I'm not going to let the child go until somebody gives me an address? No, sir. Okay, anything else, Mr. Minot? Recross examination. I will just ask, does she has any correspondence between Mr. Martin and myself regarding asking for this information? Not that I can think of offhand. I may, but I don't know. That's very convenient. I'm going to ask you one other thing. This is the judge now asking Miss Vecna. You, as I said, you're not represented by counsel, and I want to advise you that some communication between a client and an attorney are privileged. But you have waived that privilege this morning. That is not a good move, usually. At least when you said that you requested this information from Mr. Martin. Now, I'm going to go have Miss Greeter find Mr. Martin, and if he's in this county today, I'm going to have him down here sometime today, and I'm going to ask him what
That's
efforts
her.
he made.
That's her previous lawyer.
Got you. I'm going to ask him what efforts he made to get this information and whether it was refused or not. And if I bring him in here, are you going to assert an attorney-client privilege as to that information? You mean like don't let him talk or something? That's your ex. Exactly. Object to him answering, because I'm going to bring him in here this morning and I'm going to say, Mr. Martin, were you contacted about Mr. Howard's address? Were you told that was a problem? Were you told that he had to have that information before the child could go to Cyprus for the summer?
Have you ever heard of a lawyer coming on the stand to testify against a former client? It's pretty rare.
I've never fucking heard that,
Being
bro. I've
called
never
in
heard
by
a
the judge to do it?
Yeah, I've never heard a judge say he's going to go find the other lawyer and ask him if what she said about it is true. So the judge literally does not believe her, obviously, which is stunning. I mean, it's not like, I mean, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Were you told that he had to have this? So this is your wife. Is it necessary to? It's necessary for me, and I'm asking you: do you intend to assert an attorney-client privilege? I'm not sure if that information is privileged, but do you intend to assert it today? I don't know what I should. I just. All right. I'll let you just step down. He just gave up at that point. And then I think that's the. Oh, there's more. Okay, no, but there's that. That's it for that document. So. Wow.
That's it. Check. See if there's a part one or part. There should be more parts. You're probably in part one.
What a ride.
See if you're in part one. I think there's part two and part three.
There's definitely more, brother. But I got to tell you, we're a little over an hour.
Okay.
And I think I got to cut it. I'm so sorry. We will go longer. Cool. Some weeks we will go longer.
No, an hour and a half works good from every week, and we'll just keep telling the story. And you can read through those documents for next week.
I think that was a perfect little, just nice chapter.
Wait till her attorney gets on the stand. Oh, it's a lot of fun.
They bring the attorney. They actually bring the attorney.
Yeah, they call him into court. In fact, they sent the bailiff. That Mrs. Reeder was the bailiff, and he basically he subpoenaed. Basically, he didn't do the formal thing, but he told the attorney. He called him into court formally and said, "You have to appear in the court." He basically said, I don't know if it's in the transcript, but his words were to the effect of, "Bailiff, you will find Mr. Minot, and if he's in the county today, you will compel him to appear after the lunch break if he's anywhere in the county today."
And he was. God bless him. That's great. I'll tell you, not since that is the funniest transcript I've read.
Oh, you're gonna enjoy the other ones.
Well, I got a little piece of homework for you. I'll send you a link. But anyone in here, listen, look up. It's I can't remember, but it's Rick and Morty. Reread this court transcript from I think a Texas courtroom, and the guy is very crazy, and he threatens to grape and kill the judge, and like the judge is kind of feisty back at him, and he's calling him like I'm just saying, it's a fucking wild ride. Not that it's a little more wild than that ride, but the guy, we're dealing with two very different things. But I got to tell you, you got to listen to this because I think you'll find it very cathartic, Chad. So I'm going to send it to you after this call while I'm eating my tacos and putting my feet up And I wish you all the best, sir. And please, everyone in here that hasn't done it already,
Mhm.
follow my man. Tell your friends about my man. Fucking whatever you can. It's much
And
appreciated.
next Friday.
Next Friday, Fugitive Friday, we will be digging into the second part of that transcript, part 2 with the lawyer. I can't wait. And we'll get into some theories on why the fuck they're so concerned with you, my friend. How's that sound?
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Dig into the docs I've sent you, and I'll just keep feeding you documents as we go because I got thousands of pages. You haven't even got into the really fun stuff yet.
I can't wait. And this, by the way, guys, this full interview will be going up on my YouTube channel. News updates for real. Hit me up there. You can also find Chad on Instagram, YouTube, obviously on TikTok. Anywhere else they should be going to find you, Chad?
Yeah, a website, alexisnotmissing.com. All of my
Alex is
socials
not
are linked
missing.
there.
Yeah.
I could definitely use my Twitter and my YouTube and Instagram are pretty new, and they could use some boost. My Instagram, I have 26,000 something, but my
Yep.
YouTube and Twitter could really use some more people.
Hey guys. Well, I mean, shit. Either that or we consolidate and we go hard on what we got. I think we got a lot of ears here on the old tickety talk, and Instagram is certainly a great place. Although Canada just passed some fucky law. Anyways, that's all. That's neither here nor there. Stay safe, my friend. Reach out if you're in any imminent danger. If you need any help with anything, anytime. Okay, and
Cool.
yeah, let me know. Let me know of anything comes up, and we are rooting for you, my friend. Everyone in here. So
Appreciate it because, guys, with my health, I mean, that's the last thing I want to close with is, guys, for those of you that are new here, I have serious kidney disease and I need life-saving surgery, which the FBI is blocking me from receiving. So this is urgent.
yeah, yep. So one day at a time. Just make it through till next week. Fugitive Friday, guys. We'll be back. I will be letting you know what time, and you know the place. All right. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Cool. See y'all.
What a fucking ride, man. God damn it. It's so frustrating. And they're just leaving the guy on an island to die. Like, I'm good, Garrett. My phone's probably about to die. I got some tacos that have been made. And I think that's enough for the day. I just, yeah. Oh, Reaper. I don't know. Send him a message. But I think it's more than that. I think it's the fact that the little island he's on does not have the capacity to even do the surgery. So, I mean, you know. Uh, direct energy weapons, Swizzles. Yeah, according to Peter Friel, they're up there in the Antarctica. They also might have started some fires. Did you hear the news, child of God? I did hear. I heard that it's dinner time, and I heard that I love y'all, and I heard that y'all are the best fucking squad out there. Um, what? Yeah, I know. I saw the comment. I know. I have. I've learned. It only took a very close to home robbery for me to learn these things. All right. I don't know the news. What happened? Wagner Group is apparently pulling a coup. I don't know, guys. Be careful with all that. It sounds like fucking propaganda to me. Maybe the one leader doesn't like him. I don't think the Wagner Group is capable of toppling the Russian regime. I could be wrong, but I highly doubt it. From what I heard, uh, yo, Jane Tree. From what I heard, actually, the Wagner Group is comprised of like criminals and people they send to the front. Like Wagner is a bunch of fucking low life scum that they use for bullet shields, like straight up meat bags. Like not the guys in charge, obviously, but most of the troops in Wagner are not real soldiers. That's what I was told from someone I trust. So I don't think it's anything. Yeah, not even smooth criminals. They're trashy ones. They're the ones that got caught. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Thank you guys for popping in. Thank you for giving support to our friend Chad Hauer. Crazy story. So, Navy knew Titan imploded 2 hours after it happened. Yeah, of course they knew because the sub was empty and those fucking cunts are enjoying their life somewhere. I don't know. I don't fucking care about the sub. J.P. Morgan. just signed a deal with BlackRock to rebuild Ukraine. For fuck.
Compañero.
We're gonna try and take Danny down. Danny! Danny! Oh,
Hey,
Danny's
what's
got
up, bro?
multiple. All right, let's see. Maybe I can invite someone. Let's see if I got anyone that I can invite. Oh, thank God. I did not want to battle Danny right now. Okay, we're out of here. I love you guys. Stay safe. Stay informed. We'll talk soon.